Hey, everybody. It is Peter and Sal here, and welcome to the weekly wrap-up where we share hints, tips, and advice about the foundations of well-being, move, eat, live, and stories from all our clients and things that have happened this week. How are you today, Sal?
Good, Peter. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. I'm really well.
Good.
What's been happening in your world for the week?
I've been quite busy this week with work and then with the seniors class that you know that I do. And then I had to do a fill-in yesterday, which was, my comfort zone was a little bit
expanded.
Yes. I filled in for my brother-in-law, Anthony, so that was interesting.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I've had an interesting week. I've been playing with the tech devils.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've had no internet for quite a number of days, and so I work on satellite here, blah, 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 and you can't get extra data, and a big story. Anyway, bottom line is I've been doing some research. I've tried some other bits and pieces, but it hasn't worked. So it's all right. It'll get sorted out. I'm here online today, and that's all that matters. So one of the things that I did do, so I have been looking at a wearable for such a long time. And, I was erring on the side of going with a Garmin because, they're waterproof. They, do so much. And I needed to update my phone. So I had gone in and was inquiring about something to do with my mum's phone. And anyway, the new Note had come out, new Samsung Note. I'm a Samsung girl through and through, and I'm a Note girl through and through. So I've been waiting for the new one with bated breath to come out. And so there it was in all its glory. So I said, okay, let's get the phone while I'm here. And what happened is that they had such a special deal on. So if anybody's interested, if you have to get a new SIM card and go on a plan, so no lock-in contracts or anything like that, you got to go to Harvey Norman because they're giving away a $700 voucher right now. And so hence, I got my new wearable. That was a long story, wasn't it, ladies? So it's so pretty, though. I don't know that you can see it. So it's so lovely. And as a direct result, I had been there with Paul, and he had given me a voucher. So I ended up with the wireless earbuds, not that I've got them in today. So, yes, I have this beautiful bronze set of equipment now. It's always lovely when you get new equipment.
It is.
But the reason I'm telling you that story, there's a purpose behind it, is that there's a lot of fors and against of wearing a wearable. And one of the things was that we can let it consume our life. So we can be constantly looking at it. But what I found with it is that it has really pushed me to up the ante on my workout. Because my heart rate on this thing is so readily available, it's just a flick of the button and I can see where my heart rate is. It's been really, really interesting to actually analyze it as well too, as to where my heart rate gets when I'm doing strength workout, as to where my heart rate gets when I'm doing, my endurance training, my HIIT training. And so, these are all things that you and I would know, but it really just prompts you to put in that extra little bit of an effort. Now, you've had a wearable for a long time. So you may be totally used to using it now, and it might be something that maybe is taken for granted, or are you someone who still uses it to motivate you? Can you tell us what you
still use it to motivate you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how does it do that, Sal?
It does. I don't take it for granted. The biggest thing for me is, other than my heart rate, because I'm always checking my heart rate, but it's my sleep patterns.
Yeah.
I like
okay, yeah.
my sleep patterns, and because I have a Fitbit, so you get a sleep score, as they call it, and it's interesting going through. And especially since we've been doing the 28-day Fueled Up, and because my sleep improved. And so it's been interesting, you know, I was going back and looking, okay, a month ago, or 2 months ago now, you know, and comparing those dates. And it was quite interesting, you know, my sleep score would be around 49, which is, you know, really bad. I would have what they call wake periods. So you're not physically awake, but, you know, I'm not up walking around, but it's tracking that I'm not asleep, if that makes sense. So it's been really interesting watching my sleep patterns in all of it as well.
Yeah, I found it really good because I've been doing sleep as well too. So I know there was one night there where I didn't get as solid a sleep. It was only 6 hours, but that was because I had to, because I had no internet connection. I had to work in the middle of the night because I could get it in the middle of the night. So that one night where I really needed to get some stuff done, that interrupted my sleep. So the other thing I've been using it for is water.
Yeah. Great water tracker.
So I've found it really, really handy from a water.
Lock.
Hey, Karen, look. How are you? So, Karen, tell us, do you have a wearable? Do you wear one? We're just chatting about those this morning. So, all right, so let's move on. Early in the week, we started talking about why exercise is important to us, you know, all the benefits of it. What's the one big thing for you, Sel?
Keep moving, you know. I noticed, and it's so funny because my cousin and I, I'm not sure how many years difference there are between us, but we were chatting last year, and it was like, we were talking, and it's like, oh my God, as soon as you hit 40, you know, things are, you go, you know, you're 40 years and 1 day old, and it's like, gee, my eyesight's bad, gee, my hip's sore, you know. So for me, it's been being able to stay flexible and moving and strong and just, you know, not getting into that pattern of, okay, well, I'm not going to do anything type thing.
So that benefit, so the benefit is, so your advice is to keep moving, and because it's strength and flexibility. So what is it? You know, so you know how we went through all of the reasons that you exercise for. What was the one main reason that you picked out of that?
My head.
Your head, your mood.
My head. Yeah. Not just my mood, but because of what we do, we are very conscious of that feeling that we get after different things that we do, because we want to put that into words for other people. So I'm very conscious of my mind when I finish a workout. Am I still clear? Is my brain still foggy, or is it now clear? You know, and you can have those days, you know. I remember I did a session, this was maybe 6 to 8 weeks ago, and I had only had like, I think 4 hours sleep. And like, people probably thought I was drunk because I couldn't get my words out. I was getting exercises and that sort of thing. So for me, exercising is about keeping that mind clear and sharp.
Yeah, so some of the benefits we talked about were, you know, boosting your immune system, you know, helping with the fogginess, improving mood, fighting off heart disease, some types of cancer, diabetes, etc., so health issues. It also helps keep those cravings at bay, helps with those menopausal symptoms. And then there was, it really does help expand your life as well.
Yeah.
For me, I think the single one, and I would have to say the single one for me, and it's not a benefit that we actually talked about, was the connection aspect of it. So when I work out, I am fully connected to myself, my mind, body, and spirit, the whole thing. And that for me is a big control aspect. So there are so many things that we have no control over, but this is the one thing that I can control. So I can exercise and connect with myself fully and be totally aware of what's going on, as you said, in your mind, in your body, and how I feel afterwards. And I think that's an important aspect. So, Karen, earlier we were talking about the wearable, and you do wear one. Tell us what you use it for. What's the benefit to you? So get busy there, type away.
So
all
going
right.
back to that, like that's my big belief when you are working out is to get involved in your workout. There's times when especially when we're in the hall and I'd run a session and I'd have each lady counting the reps. And they would say to me, but you're the trainer, that's your job. You should be doing that. Yeah, but if I'm just continually counting the reps, eventually you're just going to push me out.
You switch off. Yeah.
You switch off. You're thinking about what's happening with dinner. I'm going down to meet the girls for coffee. I've got to go and do this. And so that's why I'm a big believer in getting involved in your workout. And it doesn't matter whether it's, even if you're doing a timed workout, count your reps in that time period. If it's a ladder, count your reps. Get involved, connect with your muscles. How are you feeling when you do your squat? How are you feeling after your workout as well when you're doing your stretching?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, totally. So Karen's actually using her wearable for heart rate and steps mainly. So what's your target in steps? What's your target for your steps? Tell us. Yeah, heart rate zone. So it is an interesting thing, isn't it? So I know that a lot of the ladies, when they're in the FitFlex studio with us, that they are, they do have their wearable on. I wonder how many of them take a glance at actually looking at where their heart rate is. Be interesting to know that, because I know that we physically get them to check that heart rate so we know where it's at. But yeah, because what also happens, Sal, and you would know this as well too, is that for your first set, for example, beautiful Karen, so her target, sorry ladies, her target's 15K. Let me show you that. Awesome. So 15,000 steps. That's awesome. So 10,000 steps. Here's a little tip for you. 10,000 steps helps you maintain where you're at. 15,000 steps helps you get further than where you currently are now. So if you are someone who's always aiming to hit that 10,000, now it's time to join Karen and actually head to 15. Good target. Good target. What was I talking about anyway, Sel?
That first set with our ladies.
Oh yeah, the first set. So the first set, you might very well find your heart rate's going to come up fairly quickly because you weren't doing anything. And then on the next set, your heart rate's probably, going to find some type of balance. And then the next heart rate you take is probably going to be a little bit up, and so for each set, that heart rate's going to vary from set to set. Do you find that?
Well, it's interesting because we've been doing our fitness forward testing this week, and so I've been getting the results in and collating the results. And so one of our exercises is step ups, and we have our
step
ladies
ups
doing
to monitor
the step ups for 1 minute. Take their heart rate. They have to do it again for a minute. Take their heart rate. Do it again for a minute. Take their heart rate, and then we're working out the averages.
Yeah.
But it's interesting watching the results come in because that first minute, is here, then their next minute is up, even their steps are up. So their heart rate's elevated, their steps, they've increased their steps, and then the third set again, it's another increase. So it's interesting to see that sort of thing happening.
The progression.
The progression, yes.
That, and it's funny how what happens is when we know that we're being assessed, when we know that we need to put in 100%, because what we're doing is we're looking at whether, you know, how we progressed, you know, in that monthly period or 3 monthly period, depending on whether you're a fit flex or an insider. And so we're actually looking to see how far we've progressed. And so we give it everything we've got. But, you know, when we're in a normal run-of-the-mill workout, sometimes we won't give it everything we've got. So we'll go, you know, the head will start going, oh, look, I'm just feeling a little bit tired today, or I've got this little bit of a twinge here, or, you know, I'm just not firing, so I'm just going to take it easy today. And that's something that we hear a lot of. Look, I'm not just feeling quite right today. Yeah, totally. All right, so let's move on from there. Let's talk about, there's a few women I know that you want to give a shout out to today. So let's start with Margaret, shall we? Shout out to Margaret.
Margaret Connell, the beautiful soul that is Margaret Connell. So she is one of our fit flexes, and she has she's in the virtual studio as well. But she has one of those jobs where it could be running in the door at, you know, 25 past 5, you know, trying to get around and get everything organized so she can be in that studio at 5:30. And over the past few weeks, like, they've just been so busy at work. So she has been doing her workout and checking in. But the thing that I'm loving at the moment is she's posting her post-workout selfie
photo
in our group. And and I'm just loving that. And on Friday she did her workout and had her niece join her, so they posted their photo in the group. So I want to shout out to Margaret. Awesome job, Margaret, keep it up. We're very, very proud of what you're doing at the moment.
Super. Yes, super proud. And she's just finishing up on the 28-day Fueled Up transformation with us. So, and we would absolutely love for her to stay in the Insiders, because we know that she just lifts her game when she's around those women who are, you know, reporting in on a daily basis. Which is just amazing. And
she inspires women too. I love that she gets involved in the group. And she puts up the inspirational quotes, and, you know, and I just love that too.
And shouting out to Margaret, who was doing the workout with her niece. Let's give a shout out to Alice. Alice is brand new. Hey, Alice. Brand new to Fit Flexes, and she's a little younger than, you know, the average ladies, but, you know, she has aches, pains and injuries, which is what we specialize in. She has hyperextension, and she'd had some knee issues, and so she wanted to find a place that she could still exercise and know that she was going to be taken care of. So she decided to join us. She's got 3 little tiny children, like 3 of them running around. So, you know, and she says, I'm not a morning person, but she's been getting out of bed early. She's been in the virtual studio working out with us. And like this week, she hasn't been able to make it. And so she's still working out at home, like Margaret. And she posted up a little photo video the other day, and her kids had got out of bed and they started joining in with her, and which was gorgeous to see. And she even made a comment. She said, I don't really think that their plank jacks, that their bottom should be so high up. I don't think they're really doing it quite right. And I love so that she has picked up so much about technique already.
Yes.
And she's very, very conscious of it, and she saw it with her kids. But what I really, really love about this is the fact that her children are seeing her exercise at a young age. So she's sending a message that exercise is important, but she's
Yes.
also sending a message that says, I'm important. I'm going to put myself first. I'm going to exercise before we have breakfast and get into the run of the mill day with everything that's going on. So I love that. So
Yes.
shout out to you, Alice. You are doing a brilliant job. So keep it up. Yay.
Awesome. Yay, Alice.
Okay. Go, Alice. Okay. What about you, Sal? I know you got another one you want to shout out to.
I do. And it's one of our
Trisha.
newbies, Trisha O'Donnell. So Wednesday, Trisha was in the virtual studio, and she had knee surgery last year. And so she hasn't been confident getting on the floor. And we were doing one of our exercises last week. I can't even remember which one we were doing. Anyway, so I suggested putting cushions under her knees so she could get down on the floor. It was when we were doing our fitness forward and the push-ups.
It was the push-up,
I suggested putting cushions under her knees. Now, she has not been on her knees since her surgery. She's very conscious. So she tried that, and she got through her push-ups, and I just loved it. And she said there was no issues whatsoever with her knee. I checked in with her on Friday as well. She's had no pain or anything. But we then took it a step further, and because, as you all know, we have Fit Flex, so we do our flex part, which is 20 minutes. And oftentimes we are on our knees doing our stretching as well. And so I suggested to her during that stretching period to pull the cushions out, to use the cushions, but not think that she's got to rush to do it. So to take her time, getting in position, getting comfortable, and then joining into whatever stretch we're doing at that point. So a huge shout out to Trish. That's a big thing when you've had surgery and you can still have that fear of being, or you're still feeling very cautious of what you should and shouldn't do. And having that confidence in taking that step and having that trust, I guess, in us, that we're giving her this advice. This is something that you can try, and she tried it.
Yeah, which brings me to an interesting topic, and one of the ones that we've actually got here in our beginner's quick start guide to exercise, which is what we're talking about this week, next week. So you can get the free download, ladies. So the link is there. So just click on the link and you'll have it available to you. It's a coach. I think a coach is so important. Yeah, like having a fitness professional on your team is really, really important. Like we don't tend to self-diagnose. We go to the doctors.
Yeah.
So when we we tend not to do our own legal battles or our own accounting work. We go to an experienced person for those things. But so many times with exercise, we tend to just want to do it ourselves. Now, I work out by myself, but I'm still accountable. So I post up, that I've worked out. I take photos of myself working out. I share what I've done with everybody. And so I still have that level of accountability. And, quite often I say to you, what do you think about, X, Y, Z? And you do the same thing. So, we're always checking in with one another as to how we're progressing.
Yes.
And so the other thing about it is the fact that with your having a coach it means that your exercise program is planned for you as well too.
Yes.
So many times we will not exercise because we don't know what to do, and we don't know what to do because we just don't know where to start.
Yes.
And that's where a fitness professional comes in, because if they know who you are and they know what you want to achieve, then the plan that you're going to get, the exercise program, is going to be relevant to what it is, what outcome you want. They're also going to be your own personal cheerleader, so they're going to be there, yay. They're also going to push you to achieve, so that you get the very best, or you achieve the very best for yourself as well too. And so I think it's really, really important to have someone who's watching you, that knows that you're doing it right as well too.
Yes.
So what's your feeling around having a coach, being a coach as well too?
Yeah. It's so important, it's you. The other thing too is you want to do your research, so, and you have talked about it before, when you started going through menopause and you went to the gym and, you had a 22-year-old guy, um, what's it, I have a 21-year-old son. He has no idea what menopause is.
No.
Don't talk to me about that, Mum. I don't want to hear about that, Mum. I'll go, I'm having a hot flush.
Yeah.
Mum, whatever. So you really, I think you really need to do your research, and you need to find that coach who understands what you're what you're going through, aches, pains, medication, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, heart conditions, in the case of Alice, hyperextension. And, the thing, ladies, is we do our research too. It's not that we go, oh, yeah, this is what you got. We're very conscious about doing our research and making sure that our ladies are very well looked after, and they are having that personalized experience for their fitness. You just don't want to go, if you're happy to go anywhere and go, oh, well, I'll just do this. But, are you going in there and, if you're going to a box gym or whatever, do you know how to use all the machines? Do you know how to get on a lat pull down and use a lat pull down? Do you know how to do a squat press? Are you getting that kind of attention and guidance? Or, is it you've signed up and it's just, oh, well, these are the machines, off you go type thing?
Yeah. I think maybe, Sel, is that why, and I question this quite a bit, is that why women tend to gravitate to going to like group classes? And I think it's the case, is that we want to be around other people. So we want that group environment.
Yes.
But it's because there's somebody there who's instructing us and we can follow along, as opposed to walking into a weights room and then going, okay, I wonder what I'm going to do. Am I lifting this correctly? Am I, bending in the right way? Am I doing this? And you become very self-conscious when you don't understand.
Yes.
Which is a major deterrent as well too. So
it is, because if you go in and you're self-conscious, you're not going to go back, because it's going to be, people are looking at me. I was working out at a gym one day, and a lady came up and asked me how to use the machines.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
So it's and I'm all for, I would rather show you how to do it correctly than you get on and do it incorrectly.
Yes, totally. It is an interesting thing to go into a big box gym. I find it overwhelming. I find it intimidating. And it's not the place for me. And I know that, been there, done that. And it's not the right environment. And I think that's a really important aspect of when you're starting out, is to find the right environment as well. Something that works for you. Yeah.
That's right. Don't just settle. You've got to find what's going to benefit you.
Yeah. Yes, totally. And do you know the other thing that I was thinking about, because I put a post up in our free group, Women Over 50 Get Active and Healthy, and that was a reminder of why we need to, weight train, strength train. And I found it fascinating that one of the ladies actually said, oh, thanks for the reminder, really, really appreciate it. And I said, oh, look, we've got 2 free weeks coming up, blah, blah, blah. Here's the link. And she said, oh, yeah, but remember, I've got some issues. And I responded by saying, well, that's totally what we do. If you do have some issues, then we modify our workouts so that they can work for you. So we accommodate everybody. So, we've got ladies who can do a modified type of push-up when they've got shoulder issues. We've got ladies who have pelvic floor issues that, we've got a modification to the squat in that case. And for many people, many women who have pelvic floor issues, as an example, they might not even be aware that a plank is something that's, a bit of a taboo thing, depending on the degree of the pelvic floor issues. So, and we don't know what we don't know either.
No. Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to also have this fitness professional who is going to be able to ask you, as you said, all the questions about what is it? What are those areas? Do you have high blood pressure? Do you have low blood pressure? So that what's happening is, as you're getting up and down off the ground, I need to be aware of that, because you might get some dizziness going on.
Yeah.
So that in itself is really, really important.
It is important. And the other thing too is, we have 3 trainers with Strong Healthy Women, and the 3 of us are across every single client's health issues. So it's not that you only know the health issues of the morning ladies and I only know the health issues of the afternoon girls, because that's who we train. We're across everybody's health issues if they have them, and we're across all those alternates for them when they require them.
Mm-hmm. Let's move on to the 3 pillars of exercise then, shall we? So strength, endurance, and flexibility.
Yes. Strength.
So I've alluded to how important strength training is, because, as I said, I did post that up in the group. So do you want to talk a little bit about why strength training is important to the aging body? Well, why don't I kick you off and say this, because it's something that we may not be aware of. From the age of 30, we are becoming less and less strong. So our muscle is deteriorating. So by the time we get to 90, we have lost at least 50% of our muscle strength. And that's how we become those frail old women. And not that we're old at 90, but that's how we become like that, because we're not building muscle. I think us women are very smart now that we understand that it's not about being skinny. It's about being strong. It's about being strong in mind and body, not just strong in the body. because
Yes.
if the mind tells you can't do something, then you're not going to do it either. So it's really, really important to know that from the age of 30, we are diminishing our muscle strength if we do nothing about building muscle strength.
Yes.
So we can build it and we can improve it. So over to
Yes.
you, Sel. What were the things
And
that you wanted to share there?
I was flexibility. You strength train for flexibility and mobility. Like, are you going to get in your car? You know, are you going to be that person that's getting in their car and holding onto their car door so they can sit down on the driver's seat? Are you going to be that person that can't get down into your kitchen cupboards because you don't have that mobility? You know, are you going to be that person that can carry your washing basket out to the line? Or are you going to pop to the shops and get a laundry trolley because it's easier to push? You know, doing strength training, and we do this in our insiders group. They have a fitness forward PT once a month, and they get their results, and then they're given a estimate of what their strength should be, what their reps should be in a month's time. Because if you strength train in a 4-week period, your strength should increase between 20 and 30%.
20. Yeah.
You know, so we give our insiders that 25% mark, so that their strength should increase by 25%. Can you imagine that for some women? You know, having that strength increase by 25%. And then if every month, like we do, you know, the workouts are different every week. We change our workouts every week. The kind of strength that you can gain, you know, it's never too late to strength train. Strength training is not age limited. You know, you don't have to be in the studio, you know, lifting barbells and 500 kilos of weight or anything like that. You know, strength training is easy as squats, push-ups, those sort of things to get you started.
Yeah, so what happens is that some of the benefits of strength training are that you're building muscle. When you build muscle, it means that you're strengthening your bones. When you strengthen your bones, it means that with osteoporosis, you're less at risk for that. But what it also means is if you have a fall, then you are less likely to break something as well too. So, and for many of us girls, we'll do walking or we'll do Pilates or we'll do yoga. So we go for those things that tend not to put the stress on our body.
And I think sometimes that's our mind going, oh, well, I'm 60. I you know, yoga's going to be better for my body, and it's going to be easier for my body to get through type thing.
Yeah, and I'm going to say that as someone who's 59. That you're kidding. Like, seriously, we need to change that to 70, I think.
Yeah. But your heart, you know, it's that. Yeah, I think sometimes we think because of our age we should be doing something gentle.
We do.
Yes.
And we certainly should be doing something gentle if we're recovering from a certain type of health issue. But we certainly should be doing something rather than nothing and waiting for it to recover. Now, who was that told us that the other day, that they waited? It was one of our ladies recently who said that they took the time off. So they had an injury and so they took 6 months off and they didn't do anything, and then they realized that they should have been doing something all along. Can't remember who it was, but yeah, it's definitely true that we want to strength train. So what are some of the benefits of so the actual benefits of endurance training?
Your heart and your lungs.
Yeah, so what we want to do is have a strong heart and strong lungs, and how we do that is through endurance training. So that means putting that heart under that little bit of pressure, putting the lungs under pressure so that we are actually increasing them. So you want to know what your resting heart rate is. So you want to know what your heart rate is the minute you get out of bed before you put your feet out on the floor. So you want to know what that is. But you also want to know what your heart rate is when you're sitting here and just basically doing nothing. But so then what happens is you can then do the calculation to work out, what's that 85% capacity and just a little bit higher, where I'm really going to get my heart rate up to the level and sustain it at that level. So here's what's important. Sometimes we get it up and then it drops back down. And the fitter you get, the harder it is to keep it up at that elevated rate as well too. So you really have to work at it. So by having a strong heart, what does that mean in everyday life for us?
It's going to not so much having the heart, but doing that endurance and stamina. Your body's not knowing what you're doing. So if your heart rate's going up, if your breathing's going up and coming down, up and down, up and down, you're losing weight because your body doesn't know what you're doing. So it's kicking up your metabolism as well.
Metabolism, yeah.
And the other thing is, I've got a mind blank now. It was there.
Lost it.
I don't know. Back to you, Peter.
All right. So yeah, from an everyday perspective, what it means is that when you're going up a set of stairs, you're not going to be out of breath so much. If you're going up a mountain, you're not going to be out of breath so much. So it means that when you're carrying heavy bags of groceries, rather than huffing and puffing to the car, you're doing it easier than what you would have done. So by strengthening your heart, it means in everyday life, you're more able to do those things that can be very much taken for granted, and you might be wondering why you're puffing going up the stairs. Now, here's the thing, ladies, though. We're all going to puff going up the stairs. We're definitely all going to do that, but it's just the level of huffing and puffing that you're going to have that improves by strengthening your heart. Over to you, Sal. You've remembered what it was that you were going to say.
Grandkids.
Grandkids.
You can play with the grandkids. Keep up with the grandkids. We've got Elizabeth. Elizabeth plays soccer with her grandkids, and that was one of her. Is it Elizabeth or Anne? That was one of their whys in our 50 Reasons.
It was Maria. You're close. It was Maria.
Oh, okay, yeah. 50 Reasons Why. Yeah, and it was to play soccer with the grandkids.
Yeah, Anne wanted to keep doing gymnastics. So it's all around the grandkids. So yesterday we had 2 grandkids and we went to the park down at Rebang Plains there, that big one that they've got. And they've put up a Ninja Warrior course.
Wow, yes.
I know. So it starts off it's got like a bridge thing, and the intervals of the bridge are a long way away. So you climb up over that. So it goes up and down, and then you come to a rubber thing that swings, and it's got rock climbing steps in order to be able to get up it, because it's all rubber, so you're going to slip. And then you get to the next section where you've got to stretch out your legs, and it's got the arm section at the top, so that you sort of like swing yourself, catapult yourself to the next section. Now, I had good clothes on, but I thought, I want to have a crack at this. But, Paul's laughing. Oh, and there was a tightrope as well too. So a tightrope. So before you got to the swinging section. And then there was another section after that, which I didn't quite make. But I'm definitely going back there when I've got a set of tights on, so I can actually actually try and do this in where I'm not self-conscious of being in my good clothes. But what I was alluding to is how much more your heart rate comes up when you're doing something that you're not doing normally. So I don't normally go doing those things. What also happened is when I went back and checked my wearable, guess what? All that climbing up and down was equivalent to me going up 10 flights of stairs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, so I got a few stairs in as well too, and I went, that was really, really fascinating. So yeah, definitely heart rate, ladies. We want to get out of our comfort zone to allow our heart rate to come up. We want to do things that are different because that's going to push your heart rate up. We also want to be conscious that not staying where we are, unless we've had some medical advice that says you need to keep your heart rate at a certain level, we want to push it. We want to push it so that we are less out of breath and we can do all those things that we love and enjoy in life. Now, the last final leg of being flexible, of the fitness pillars, is flexibility. Yes, so what are some of the benefits to flexibility?
Better posture and balance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Yes. So much better posture. And I think sometimes our posture has a little bit to be desired. Like, we sit with our legs crossed, or we are not standing with our feet under our hip. We can be slouching over. So yeah, absolutely better posture and balance.
Yeah, for sure. And flexibility doesn't necessarily have to be all about yoga training or stretch training as well too. I mean, it's great if you do those things, but you get flexibility training at the same time you're doing strength training, because you're flexing your tendons and your ligaments. So you are building flexibility in your body at that point in time as well too. It also means that, and you talked about this earlier, you can get up and down out of cupboards because you don't want to get in the cupboard, but find things in the cupboard. You might want to get in the cupboard. You never know. So you might be playing hide and seek. Who knows?
Yes.
So we've talked about heaps today, Sel. So we've given a few shout outs to ladies who have really stepped up their game. So Margaret, Patricia, and Alice. So well done, ladies.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about the pillars of fitness, which are strength, flexibility, and endurance and stamina. Mm-hmm. We have also talked about wearables and some of the benefits to wearing them, and some of the disadvantages. So if you're someone who's obsessed with it, try to get over that obsession. Use it for what it is that's important to you. So Karen actually shared with us earlier, she uses it mainly to check her heart rate and to make sure that she reaches her 15,000 steps a day. Sel, you use it for your heart rate, and what was the other thing? I've forgotten now. Sleep. Yes, totally. Yes. So there are a lot of benefits to those things as well too. So ladies, remember, we are talking about the beginner quick start exercise guide here. That is the download that you can grab, so it's available to you. And if you want to, you can come, and we would love for you to come in and join us for 2 weeks free. I think we're starting that on the 19th of October, so you've got time. There's a special little bonus if you get in early. So go ahead and click on that, and we'll tell you what the special bonus is then. And so we would love to see you. Any final thoughts from you, Sel?
I was just going to add to that with the 2 weeks free. Who doesn't like a freebie? So get in there, ladies.
Yeah, totally.
Register for your 2 free weeks.
Yeah, yes, for sure. I'm actually just doing a calculation here, so I just want to do my roundup. Okay, so we have been doing the 28-day Fueled Up transformation, and so I wanted to do a quick calculation. So not all the ladies have been able to measure their body fat because we needed a certain piece of equipment or a certain way to do that, and that's okay. But those who have actually done that up until the end of last week, so we haven't got the figures in for this week, so it's coming in, we've seen 8.9% decrease in body fat.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That is totally awesome.
That's brilliant. And just in regards to that, quick shout out to Pat. So Pat has taken hers up to the next level and ordered her own own body fat measure machine. So she is going to be able to track that herself, the comfort of her home.
She has. I'm just doing another calculation. And I'm doing it long-handed, so I'm not using a calculator. I'm using my brain. Keep talking, Sal.
Actually, I'll just get my armor on and I'll show you what we're talking about. Oh,
yeah, do that.
So this is what one of these. It measures your body fat, gives it to you in percentage kilos, and gives you your BMI. And Pat said she ordered hers off eBay. So
yeah, eBay. We got a couple of spare ones hanging around as well too that we can sell off. We don't need 5 of them. Yeah. And so as of last week, 44.2 kilos gone for those ladies.
That's brilliant. That is so good.
That's pretty exciting.
In 4 weeks,
pretty
that's
exciting.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And as I said, we haven't got all the results in yet. Yeah. I also want to finish up by saying I love that Anne's honesty. She sent her final results in yesterday, and she said, these results no way at all reflect the program. They reflect the amount of work that I did. They reflect that the amount of work that I didn't do. So I didn't put in the effort. So I didn't follow it. If I was lucky, it's probably around 50% that I followed it. And what happened was I allowed family situations to take over and not put myself first. And so, yeah, we'll be talking about that in the insiders as well too. So,
and that was one of her distractions that she was very honest about too at the beginning. She said her biggest distraction will be herself. You know, that's a big call.
Yeah.
Calling yourself out. You know, we tend to put all the outside things. That's what's going to distract me over here and over here and over here. And, you know, straight up, she's just gone, it's going to be me. That'll be my biggest distraction.
Yeah, look, in order to change anything, in order to move forward, we do need to be honest like that. We do need to show that side of ourselves. And seeing the behavior, seeing the pattern that we've created in our lives and what stops us, what's the biggest obstacle, that's the first step. The second step then is finding mechanisms, finding actions that you can take that stops that from happening in your life. Once you can find those mechanics, those actions, then what actually happens is then you just go great guns, you head upwards.
Yes.
So, yeah. So thanks for joining me today, Sal.
You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us, Karen Locke. You have a fabulous long weekend up here in Queensland. Woohoo!
Oh, everywhere. In Australia, it's everywhere, love.
I thought it was just Queensland.
No. It's the Queen's birthday, isn't it?
I'm not sure. Is it the Queen's birthday or our Labor Day weekend?
No, I think it's the Queen's birthday. I can't even read that. Can't read it. Sorry. It's too little. Okay. All right, ladies. Well, thanks for joining us, and we shall see you all Monday. We're going to be talking about excuses all week. Great topic.
Yes. Awesome topic. I've used them all. I'm an expert.
All right, ladies. See you, Sal.
Have a good
see
weekend.
You soon, hey?
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.